Hi guys, welcome. Hopefully everyone is staying healthy and safe. My name is Luis Rodriguez. I am a GEARUP tutor and I work at the SFU Middle School. Today we're talking about a great subject. Especially it's very helpful if you guys are trying to save money. You might wonder, what? Right, but I'm gonna show you good tips of how to use this subject for your saving for vacation or anything like that. Today we're gonna be talking about linear and exponential module. Okay, so this is very important for you guys, not only because you're gonna be needed for high school, also for college. If you guys are taking economy classes or anything like that, investment, realtor, or any classes that will deal with financial or adding or calculating the prices of something, this is gonna be very helpful. As I mentioned earlier, you guys, by knowing this, you guys can be able to use it for you guys on personal, for you guys to save money, how to save money, and how long would it take for you guys to save money, maybe going to Europe or going to a big expensive vacation. So let's go ahead and start with it. Okay guys, so as I was talking earlier about linear and exponential, we're gonna see the difference between those two. So in linear, the growth is by adding or subtracting. Okay, so it's adding, you add the numbers or subtract the numbers. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example of some numbers of linear. So for linear, we have an example. I'm gonna give you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30, and you keep going. But as you guys can see, is that it's adding by 5. So 5, adding all the way to the 30. So every time that the number is moving, it's adding by 5. Okay, and the equation for this for linear equation is gonna be y equals mx plus b. You might as well want to be like, oh, what is that? I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna explain you what is mx plus b. M will be your changing amount. B will be your starting amount. And for M, the changing amount, is also known as the slope. So I'm gonna put it right here for you guys so you guys can know. It's also known as the slope. And the B, the starting amount, is also your y intersect. So you guys can see more, understand why. And then an exponential, we also said that it's gonna be multiplying and dividing. So as the number keeps going, it's gonna be either multiplying the number or dividing the number. You might as well be like, oh, what do you mean? Like, I'm gonna give you an example as well. So we have 2, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, then 128, and it keep going up and up. And as you guys can see, this one is multiplying by 2. So every time that is going up is multiplying by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, 32 times 2 is 64, and then 64 times 2 is 128. So remember, it's multiplying and dividing. Okay, the equation for the exponential is your y equals a parentheses d and your exponent. Okay, so for this one, it does changes a little bit. The a will be now your starting amount, and your b will be your changing multiplier. Okay, this though is not no more your slope, no, not the slope. Although this, the A, the starting amount, will be your y-intercept. Okay, so it's pretty easy. In one of them, in linear, the growth is adding and subtracting, so you guys make sure you guys remember that. It is gonna be adding every time, or it's gonna be subtracting. The equation for that is gonna be mx plus b. Remember that m will be the changing amount or the slope, b will be the starting amount, and your y-intercept. Okay, so your b will be the 5, the m will be the another plus 5 because you're going by 5, and it will be your slope. The exponential, remember, is multiplying or dividing, and as you guys can see, it's multiplying by 2, and your equation will be a parentheses d parentheses x as your exponent. Remember that a now in this one in exponential is your starting amount, also your y-intercept, and your d will be your changing multiplier, but it's not your slope. And this is where you guys find it really interesting, as I'm gonna show you the graph of how would it look at linear. Remember your x and y's, how to label it, your x and y. How would a linear would look? So let's say a linear will be continuous, so it's gonna be continued by 5 by 5. So you're gonna see a graph that looks like this. It's just gonna have a little slope going up, right? Other thing in exponential, this is mostly like if you do investment, or like you might look into how much you're saving or anything like that. As I mentioned before, you're gonna want to use this, and I'll tell you right now why. So it will look something like this. As you guys can see, the linear will have a straight line, just focusing and keep going, you know, it will not grow extremely like the exponential. The exponential, it depends of your multiplication. Like in this time, that's why my line was like that, because it increased really fast. So what are you guys gonna be using for your life, your daily life? Well, let's say you're gonna be spending $50 per month, right? Per month. So you have per month right here, but you're gonna be wanting to save, let's say 5 years. You know, you're gonna multiply that times 5 years times the interest rates that they will give you. Let's say they'll give you a rate of 0.97, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. A rate of 9.97. If you multiply that times the years times the amount that you started, you're gonna be given the equation. So if you do that with the exponential growth, you're gonna see how much money you're gonna be saving while times pass. So it's really important for you guys to understand the basics of linear and exponential, not only for your benefit, but also if you guys want to do business or any industrial like broker or anything like that. It's really important for you guys to understand this kind of fundamental data. As I said, this is linear versus exponential growth, exponential module.